Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. We're a channel that's geared toward the new man and woman who's never been to the Philippines but who's interested in making a trip here. My 11 years of being affiliated with the Philippines doesn't make me an expert, but it does give me a unique perspective that I like to share with the new man and woman, or anyone really, that can make your trip here more enjoyable and above all things more safer. I'm boots on the ground here. I'm in the middle of all of this. I live among the locals. It's for your benefit. I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. That's exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat it. It's not going to start today. Good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I just wanted to talk about some things today uniquely Filipino that would interest you, especially the new man and woman first time coming over here. People always ask me, do Filipinos really understand English? Can they really speak English? And that answer I'm going to give you is yes and no. They speak a baseline English, and they understand perfect English. The only problem with that is no one speaks perfect English. So sometimes, especially with S words and sh words and like that, they have a problem understanding you, but they'll understand the strong words like cat and that, like that. So what I do sometimes is I'll write down, if I'm going to the pharmacy, not at the grocery store, because you get your stuff at the grocery store, but the pharmacy, or anywhere where I have to ask the cashier, the attendant, if I have to ask them for something, I tell them what I need. I write it down just in case, because sometimes, Filipino people, they're so shy and so bashful when it comes to foreigners that sometimes, even though they can understand you, they're so bashful that they can't even talk to you. So you just write it down and you give it to them, because they tell me that I'm slang. And all that means is they can't understand me. Imagine a Filipino calling my English slang. But they don't get offended by that. They just simply mean that they can't understand what you're saying. All right? But they speak baseline English, straight English. They understand perfect English. So because you don't speak perfect English, I always look them in the eye when I talk to them also. Because, at home we take everything for granted. I may look the other way and be talking to you. You can't do that over here. They won't know what you're saying. All right, so that's just a few things that to help you to get over that small communication hump that's going to come over here. Yes, they speak English. Yes, they understand English, and most of the times they're going to understand you perfectly. But sometimes when you go to the store or to the sorry store and you say, "Hey, do you have a dozen eggs?" They're not going to understand what you're saying. All right, something simple like that. Or if you asking for like Visine, they had no idea what I was talking about until I said Visine. Then they knew. You understand? So that because we're very misinterpreted over here. See, once you develop a relationship with, it doesn't matter if it's a love relationship or just a friend relationship, a lot of things that you say are going to be misinterpreted. So be ready to give an explanation of what you're saying. I'll give you an example of that and then I'll move on. It's the word exotic. You see, in America, that's a good word. If you say a woman has exotic beauty, that's a compliment. But over here, it's a put down. You call a woman exotic over here, you're calling her ugly. And she's not going to like it. She's going to get angry about it. And I had to learn that the hard way. So don't call women exotic over here. Just call them beautiful. Call them different, but don't call them exotic, because it means ugly over here. All right? And while we're on the topic of women, I was asked, what is the girlfriend experience? Now, the guy who asked me this, I know he knows the answer, but he's one of my subscribers that he's always asking questions like that. He even asked me, which I politely turned him down. I said, I said, you got the wrong channel. he wants me to give a vlog on condom use over here. Imagine that. Really? You want me to give a video on condom use? You got the wrong channel, buddy. I appreciate you, your support though, but I will talk about the girlfriend experience. And it's just simply when you get off the plane over here and you meet the Filipino for the first time, she's going to act as if you already have a history, a romance, a relationship already. And it's something that for a guy like me, see, I'm really shy and I'm really bashful around women. All right, so it was the most pleasant of pleasant surprises that I could have ever experienced. And it catches you off guard, and it will blow your mind if you've never experienced it before. Because I've never experienced it before. Where, I mean, she puts you at ease. You're thinking, man, I've been knowing this woman for years. I mean, with everything, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into any detail, but she acts as if you got a history already, a romance already established, a relationship already established. It's the girlfriend experience. And it's something that a lot of Western guys, I mean, it really gets us caught up in this web over here. Because it's going to blow your mind, because you never experienced it. It catches you off guard. You're thinking when you get off the plane that you're going to have to work hard and, cut through a lot of the red tape and what's the other word that we use? Break the ice. You're thinking you're going to have to do all of that like you do at home, but no. She does it and doesn't miss. She does it without a hitch. She pulls it off so smoothly, and the first time you look into the eyes, you'll say, okay, I got you. I got you. I'm going to follow along with you. And that's usually what happens. And I'm just trying to be elementary with it because I don't want to turn anybody off or anything like that. But that's the girlfriend experience. And see, what I found out was it's only reserved for foreigners. The Filipino man over here does not experience the girlfriend experience. He doesn't get that. He still has to work, and he has to work extremely hard to court and date the women over here. But everything that you receive in one night, it may take him 4 or 5 months to receive it. So that's the girlfriend experience in a general way, without getting any intricate details and, being, nasty or anything about it. But when you get off the plane, she's going to act as if you already have a history established, romance established, relationship established. And it makes it easy for guys like me who are shy, who are bashful, who would, normally take a long time to break the ice with a woman. But she breaks the ice immediately. And you'll get that look of understanding. You say, okay, I'm going to go along with you. And it just makes it, it's just something that you have to experience coming from the West. You're really going to enjoy that. Okay? The last thing I want to talk about over here is some of the food. See, the Philippines has a bad reputation for the food, which I've been over here long enough to tell you that it's not true. They have delicious food over here. I mean, it just depends on who's cooking it and where you're buying it. But some of the food over here, if you have high blood pressure, if you have heart problems, you may want to stay away from. And I just want to talk about a couple of them because they're delicious, but they're not good for you. And the first one is because, see, the Filipinos, they love the pork over here, and the pig, nothing is wasted over here. It's like in America. They eat the liver, the kidneys, the lungs, the stomach, the intestines, the heart, the brains. They eat it all. And one particular meal has all of this in the tongue. I forgot the tongue. It has it all in one meal. It's called sisig, S-I-S-I-G. And then they'll fry this up and, put different, spices, and, they'll put the hot chili peppers in there. And then, once it's done, they'll put an egg on top of it, and then they'll serve it with rice. I mean, it's delicious. I used to eat it all the time until I found out what was in it. It was my favorite meal over here. But I don't eat it anymore, especially when I found out how unhealthy it is. But it is delicious, guys. And if you just want to try it one time, but if you've got high blood pressure, it's going to send your blood pressure to the moon. Okay? So, if you got high blood pressure, if you got heart problems, I would stay away from some of this stuff, because pork is real prevalent in the food over here. All right, fried foods and stuff like that. But sisig, another thing from the pig, and I've never tried this. If I have, it was unbeknownst to me. It's called dinuguan, and it's pig's blood. I mean, they just take the blood and they cook it. They cook it in a skillet, and then they put different spices and stuff like that, I guess, to make it more appetizing, but it's just simply pig's blood. And I guess it would be, the way that I've seen them eat it, I would say it's their dressing. Like, how we have dressing over there, turkey dressing, chicken dressing. It's their dressing. All right, it's like, they may have like their main course, and then the rice, and then they'll have that. Okay, but you may want to stay away from that. Some of this stuff, I always suggest that you at least try it, but you don't want to get to the point, because it'll taste good. And then you'll keep trying it, then next thing you know, you have a heart attack. It's made your blood pressure and your heart problems worse. So sisig, dinuguan. Dinuguan is just pig's blood. I mean, just the sound of that is enough to make my blood curl. I don't want to fool with that. But anything pork over here, I mean, because they know how to do pork over here like you would never believe it. One of my favorites, and I'll try it every now and then, it's lechon kawali. And that's just deep fried pork. I mean, it's delicious. I mean, but of course, just saying that lets you know how unhealthy it is. And I may eat it once every 2 months or something like that. And of course, lechon is so big over here, and I may eat a few pieces of the skin, but that's really all I eat over here of that lechon, because I've just had so much of it. After a while you get tired of it. But it's delicious. I mean, so all of those meals right there were pork meals. So, you want to steer clear of them, really, although they're delicious. They're the best tasting, worst foods of the Philippines, I would say. And another thing, be careful with these street foods. I was doing some research, and I was reading where, 50% of Filipinos have parasites inside of them from eating the street foods out there, because of the sanitation is not so good. When you buy kwek kwek, one of my favorites, when you buy the barbecue on the street, that's half cooked, the sanitation is not the greatest, guys. Okay? And so be careful. A lot of times I'll tell you that to cook your own food. Now, is it cheaper to cook your own food? Not all the time. Most of the time, no. But it's healthier, and you know what's going in it. Okay? That's why I always tell you to cook your own food. Get you an Airbnb. Cook your own food. Don't eat out all the time. Okay? Thanks for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. If you're in America, it's getting late. Before you let your head hit the pillow, please help somebody. You don't want them late grocery runs. You see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink. Give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's early in the morning. We have the whole rest of the day. Find somebody to help. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.